The biggest mistake Dubai parents are making right now is making long term decisions for what might be a short term situation. And to be fair, it's completely understandable because right now, most families are trying to figure this out through school emails, WhatsApp messages, and at least three different versions of the same rumor. So everything starts to feel really urgent. Hi, I'm Hannah, and I work with globally mobile families to help them understand how international school systems actually work. And the situation like this comes up more often than people expect. School disruptions, relocations, sudden changes. And what I'm seeing right now isn't that parents are making bad decisions. It's that they're making rushed decisions in a situation where the timeline is still unclear. Schools have announced 2 weeks of online learning, and then they'll review the situation weekly. So, this isn't necessarily a full term decision, but families are already thinking about withdrawing, switching schools, or completely changing their future plans. And this is actually a pattern. It happens every time there is a disruption during COVID, relocations, unexpected school changes. When there is uncertainty, people try to create certainty by making big decisions quickly. But the risk is this: you make a permanent decision for something that might change in just a few weeks. And that can create bigger complications later, especially with school places, waiting lists, and re entry. For example, withdrawing might feel like a simple, short term solution. But in some Dubai schools, that can mean your child isn't automatically held for next year. Or switching schools temporarily might solve the next few weeks, but create a much more complicated transition later. Now, this doesn't mean parents shouldn't make changes. Sometimes adjusting your plans is exactly the right decision. But the key question is this: are you solving a short term problem or making a long term decision? Because those are not the same thing. A simple way to think about this is in two layers. What do we need for the next 2 weeks? And what do we want for the next year? And making sure those two decisions don't get confused. Right now, different families are choosing different paths, and some are staying enrolled and continuing online, some are withdrawing for the term, and others are adjusting temporarily based on where they are situated. The right decision really depends on your child, your situation, and your school's policies. But slowing down the decision making process is often the most helpful first step. I'm curious what families are actually deciding right now. Are you planning to stay enrolled, withdraw, or try something else temporarily? And if you're navigating international schools as a globally mobile family, I share insights like this to help you understand how these systems actually work. Because when you live globally, education works a little differently.